Can we get a video on what if Padmé survived and saw Vader in his suit? This is a very good what if. I've put something together. Let's go. Alright, so Padmé Amidala survives childbirth, and then she's taken into hiding by Bail Organa and Mon Mothma. She's physically frail but mentally unshaken, still refusing to believe that Anakin could become this monster that Obi-Wan Kenobi had described him as. When she hears whispers of a black armored Sith leading the purge, she dismisses it all until she sees him. Not a vision, not a dream. Right there. In the shadowed hangar on an Imperial facility on Naboo, where Padmé had secretly returned to rally her people, Padmé comes face to face with Darth Vader, and he freezes. Even through his respirator's hiss, she recognizes him. The way he stands, the way he tilts his head, her hand trembles. She calls out his name. Anakin? There's a pause, an eternity in breath. His voice is mechanical, inhuman. Anakin is dead. But Padmé knows that's a lie. No, you're still in there. I can feel it. I know it's you. Vader hesitates. For a heartbeat, the mask dips. The monster falters, but he remembers his orders. Palpatine knows Padmé is alive, and he sees her as a threat, a variable that he cannot control. Palpatine ordered Vader to bring her in, or kill her. He cannot afford the risk of the public discovering that Darth Vader was the decorated hero of the Republic, Anakin Skywalker. Or even worse, Padmé might rekindle the spark of a rebellion with her words. Vader tracks her again, but this time not as Anakin. This time with full intent to end her. But when he corners her, saber ignited, she doesn't run, she doesn't scream. I'm not afraid of you, she says. You should be, he hisses. She steps forward closer to Vader. Then why is your hand trembling? Vader steps forward with intent, but he stops himself. His voice breaks. Is the baby alright? Is it safe? Padmé took a moment and she weighed her options. Should she tell him that the children survived? This could be the key to bringing Anakin back. Or do I lie and tell him that they died to protect them from him? They didn't make it, she decided. Anakin was there, but not enough of him. She feared that too much of Vader would cloud his judgment, that he would want to bring the children in rather than him leave the Empire for them. You don't have to do this, Anakin. You can make this right. This breaks Vader. He storms over to Padmé, saber ignited in his hand. He breathes loudly in Padmé's ears. Her heart is racing. Vader stops mere inches from her. Padmé desperately trying to read that unreadable black mask. And then Vader brings his comlink up to his mask. I found nothing. She's dead. This was Vader's report to Palpatine. He spares her, lets her go, but insists that she vanishes. Vader then turns round and he starts to leave. Thank you, but please, Annie, come away with me. Vader stops and he pauses for a moment. If he finds out that you're alive, he'll make me finish it. Go. Padmé then goes into exile. She decides that her two children must be kept hidden. Vader believed that they died, so they must appear that way. She remembered Anakin's stepbrother and his wife, Owen and Beru Lars. Luke must go to them. She couldn't explain why this was the best choice, but all other options for Luke just felt wrong. Obi-Wan Kenobi had been hiding on Alderaan with Bail Organa, and when he heard that Padmé wanted to send Luke off to Tatooine, he couldn't just let him go unguarded, so he promised to watch over the boy for as long as it takes. She also recalled that Bail said that once upon a time he always wanted a child, and that he and his queen had always talked about adopting. She decided that Leia would be safe with them. Padmé's heart shattered, but she remained hopeful. She worked with Bail and Mon Mothma behind the scenes to create the rebellion. She becomes a myth amongst the Empire, a ghost. No one knows if the rumours of her survival are true or where she is, but her words and the truth about Vader's past start to spread. Now, A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back pretty much plays out the same way. However, Return of the Jedi is slightly altered. When we get to the briefing room, Mon Mothma stands before the Alliance. The usual Endor briefing takes place, but she then turns solemn. There is someone else that may aid us in the battle to come. A face many thought lost to history. A figure then steps from the shadows, cloaked, regal, worn. She lowers her hood, and it's revealed to be Padmé Amidala. Gasps had rippled through the crowd. Leia's eyes had widened. However, Luke closes his. Padmé says, I know Darth Vader better than most. I know how he thinks, and I know that my knowledge will be invaluable for this mission. When the briefing ends, Padmé approaches Luke and Leia. She requests to have a private word with them. The three of them step into a private room, and she ultimately breaks the news. This myth, this legend of the rebellion that people weren't sure lived or died. This person was their mother. Leia is stunned, but Luke, however, shows a glimmer of understanding. Padmé explained, I gave you both up for your own safety. After Mustafar, after what Anakin became, I had to disappear. I couldn't let the Emperor find you. Luke says that he understands, and he felt this connection through the Force. Leia understood why Padmé did what she did, but she still expressed disbelief that this monster had fathered her. Padmé explained, he wasn't always like that. He was a good man. I loved him. There is still light in him. I know there is. Luke had affirmed that he felt the conflict in Vader. Leia said that she would prefer to help the ground team on Endor and just not get involved with Vader at all. Luke and Padmé then devise the plan. She disguises herself as a stormtrooper and she escorts Luke to Vader's shuttle and she infiltrates from there. It plays out pretty much the same way. Luke and Vader have the same conversation, and then he escorts Luke to the throne room, and these same events unfold. Death Star is revealed to be operational. Padmé, however, she sabotaged some of the Death Star's weaponry and defenses, all to help the rebellion starships and to buy time for the Endor ground team to blow up the shield. Luke defeats Vader in rage and he refuses to join the Emperor. So be it, Jedi. Lightning crashes into Luke. He screams, but suddenly a door opens. Padmé steps inside, removing her helmet. Just pretend this is Stormtrooper armor. Palpatine then sneers, "Ah, the Queen, I wondered how long you'd hide." Padmé then pleads to Vader, "Annie, come back. Don't let our son fall. Help him." Vader stirs, and then he takes a step. Palpatine, sensing Vader's betrayal, he hurls him back with a force and slams him into a wall. Then he turns his attention to Padmé, and lightning flies. Padmé screams in pain, collapsing to her knees. Vader arises, and something inside him shifts. He steps into the lightning. "You will not hurt her." He pushes forward inch by inch, despite the burning pain. Luke then calls out to his father, and he reaches out. He force pushes Palpatine back where he stumbles. The lightning halts just for a moment, enough for Vader to surge forward with the last amount of strength that he has. He lifts Palpatine and he throws him over the edge. Vader's breath is ragged. Sparks fly from his chest plate. He then limps over to Padmé and collapses next to her. "Luke, are you all right?" "I am. But Mother..." Vader turns to Padmé. She's barely breathing, but consciousness returns to her. "Annie?" "Yes, my love." "Anakin, I'm so proud of you." "I'm sorry we are here. This is all my fault." "Annie, let me see your face. I want you to look on me with your own eyes." Vader then turns to Luke. "Luke, help me take this mask off." "But you'll die." "Nothing can stop that now. Please." Luke hesitates, but then he gently removes the mask. Anakin Skywalker, scarred, pale, and weary, he looks down at his wife in his own eyes. Padmé stares into his soul and a tear rolls down her face. She smiles through the pain, and then she turns to Luke. "Luke, come closer." She then reaches into her pocket and pulls out something small. "Your father made this for me. When we first met, he carved it from a Japor snippet. It will bring you good fortune." She presses it into Luke's hand. "No, keep it. I have to save you, both of you." Anakin turns to him and he says, "You already have, Luke. Tell your sister you were right about me." Padmé then goes on to say, "Tell Leia I love you both so much, and I couldn't be more proud of you." They both grew still holding on to each other. Their eyes closed together one last time, and then they pass as one. Later on, a funeral pyre burns for both Anakin and Padmé side by side. Luke watches in silence, the Japor snippet in his hand. Leia stands beside him with Han at her side. Leia said, "He really came back, didn't he?" Luke nodded, and then he explained that Padmé came in time to convince Vader to return to the light. Both of them had died heroes. Han wraps his arm around her as she wipes a tear from her eyes. Luke then looks into darkness, and three ghosts appear: Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin. While he was grateful that he could see his father again after death, a small part of him wished he could see his mother just one last time. But Luke knew that she was at peace. He didn't need to see her for that. This was enough. They smile on at Luke, and Luke felt lighter knowing that the future was as bright as ever. That's what I could muster. Hope it helped.